So I've got an interesting article for while we've got Second Plague with us. So from Spiked
All right.
Online, the treachery of the atheists. Why so many rationalist bros have fallen for the hocus pocus of the trans cult? Right.
Because they
boy.
need a cult. They need something to
Yes,
be.
because
Yeah,
men
they need some
need
sort
a
of
higher
religion.
power. So I've got
Yep.
I've got a couple of things right off the bat. One, treachery. Treachery is the word you want to use there, because I'm sure I'm going to agree with his central point, but that's an interesting choice of wording. And secondly, rationalist bros.
Yeah, those aren't necessarily atheists. Those are skeptics.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
well, that too, but bros. Bros is the word you're going to use, right?
Hello, my rationalist bros.
I bring out
fellow rationalist bros.
bring out the editing paddle.
As somebody who's friends with quite a few of those kinds of people, I think that's an accurate label.
It might be. So already, chat's chiming in with some brilliant responses. Just in
Nice.
response to that question, why so many rationalist bros have fallen for the hocus pocus of the trans cult? Medja says because they're weak-minded losers with no spinal fortitude, just a mob of eggshell minds looking for a mob to belong to. Yeah, basically.
Fair question.
And
I mean,
yeah, like, well, fuck it, Medja's done it. No point to continue with the article. Bye.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just get a chat, but we'll just get an AI to read out Medja's comments. What more do we need? That can be the whole show. I'm going to bed.
AI
I
so Chatelet. Beep boop.
Yeah, give Monkey more work. But Silent Pavlov has a great point too. Most atheists aren't actually atheists. They just swapped gods.
Yeah, exactly.
very
Whether it's the state or the Pride Party or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you have to ask the question, what do you mean atheist exactly?
Yeah,
Right.
and
True. Because, you may say I don't believe in God. Well, what do you mean by that?
look, Jordan, you Canadian maple flavored bastard.
I mean, that's a very simple question, really. Like, I kind of get where you'd go with that, but it's quite as... I think where this article could have been improved is capitalizing the word atheists.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Because the atheist has a very specific definition. Does not believe in a god or gods.
Yeah.
A capital
Follows
A
no religion.
A capital A atheist, on the other hand, just has a new religion.
Yeah, that's a political stance.
Yeah.
That's a political stance. Yeah.
Well, to be
Well, it's
fair,
a faith system in a
be
lot
fair,
of ways.
To be fair, though, their capitalization in the title is just fucked, period. Like, for title
Yeah.
format, treachery should also be capitalized.
That's very true.
Yeah. Though, if I was writing it, and I might actually leave it lowercase to make the capital A of atheist stand out. Or I'd underline the A or something. Because...
Or you could add a TM to atheists.
No, you just
Or a
capitalize
plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atheism plus guy.
Yeah. Medja also said, I used to think atheist meant someone who doesn't believe in a god and is non-religious. Man, I got that wrong in that retrospect. Well, that's what lowercase atheist means. Uppercase atheist,
Yeah.
in much
Yeah.
the same way as actually it's an excellent parallel to lowercase black and uppercase black.
Yes.
Black.
There's the lowercase descriptor and the uppercase political stance, or political group, socio-political group thingy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of like the differentiation between Latino, Latina, and Latinx.
You mean Latinx?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, kind of.
Well,
do
I
like referring to them
Latinx.
as the
That's a
Latinx.
stupid idea.
Yeah. Oh, and Medja
Yeah.
said it again, or possibly his autocorrect got him, where he says atheism with a capital I really is a religion. They just have arbitrary gods to worship. Yeah, absolutely. Capital A atheism is it's a new religion because
It's basically Islam without a god.
yeah.
It's as aggressive too.
It's become very sadly
I
clear
prefer virulent.
over the last 3 to 5 years, even more so than beforehand.
It's longer than that.
Oh,
It's longer than that, Fezzik.
Oh yeah, but
because I look at my 90-some-year-old grandfather before he died, which 10 years ago, and he was a member of the freedom from religion group, which was basically a bunch of capital A atheists who have their roots back in like the 70s, I think.
Okay.
And they're actively trying to push any sort of religion that is Christian or Jewish out of the public square. They're okay with Islam for some bizarre reason.
They
Well,
always
maybe it's
are.
because Islam was right
Bizarrely,
about
yeah.
women and
You know, I
guys.
will say,
But so
I will
wrong
say
about dogs
this.
and beer.
I think
And bacon.
Richard
Absolutely.
Richard Dawkins is fucking retarded on the subject of religion and doesn't understand any of the arguments or ideas aside from evolutionary biology. And Sam Harris is like a TDS deranged weirdo. But
Sam Harris is just another Vosh, man.
Sam
Yeah.
Harris
But
is a woke
prop-
retard.
but genuine credit to both of them for for being consistent and not letting Islam off the hook,
Yeah.
even when it costs them in the public eye. I respect the consistency, even if there's plenty about those two that I don't respect.
So when I said,
Yeah, I still remember the. Oh god.
so when I said the last 3 to 5 years, I mean in the last 3 to 5 years, they actually fucking raised false idols. Like, obviously, they've been treating atheism and gay rights and women's rights and wokery in general as their new religion, but in the last
And
3
Dr.
to
Fauci.
specifically
fuck
that
off.
bus, in the last 3 to 5 years, they have raised their fucking golden false gods, and it's fucking terrifying. Like, they've actually raised up Fauci as a fucking false prophet.
Yeah.
Like, there is no other way to describe it, even from a purely atheistic perspective, other than that they have raised Fauci up as a fucking prophet. It is blasphemous to the highest degree.
Yes.
Based.
They have
And
created a religion, and they have created false prophets to go with their religion. They've created a cult round fucking Biden. They've created a cult round Hillary. They've created a
Obama?
cult round Fauci. Like, Obama wasn't as bad as it is now. Like, it was still cringe, but it's not.
it's where it really got kicked off.
Probably.
Because do you remember the fainting woman of 2008, where there was like these women that would just, oh, Obama's so great, and just pass out on stage, and it was turned into where they were probably having like heat stroke,
See,
but it was turned into look at how people just swoon over Obama and the way he speaks. He's so clean and articulate.
I wasn't as politically active when I was still in school.
He's the first clean, articulate black man.
The first ever articulate black man. Whatever
Clean,
shall
clean.
we do?
Yeah. But
Never forget the clean part, Trim.
Right.
Obviously they would well into the cult of personalities by Obama, but they have
Poor kids are
straight
just
up
as smart as white kids.
worshipping Fauci and Biden.
Oh yeah, I mean, hell, there were like votive candles
Like
with Fauci.
I have seen less devout Catholics
Yeah.
than I've seen Biden and Fauci supporters.
Well,
Like,
to be fair, it's
That's
not
got a
hard to
point.
find a less than devout Catholic.
well, at least
Like Joe Biden.
yeah.
He's not Catholic. He's
Irish.
He's a Catholicker. He's a Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Plague will like what I just posted in chat.
Okay. Very base, but yeah, I think you get rid of the monotheistic presuppositions, and what you end up with is paganism, idolatry, and some sort of weird Gnosticism.
Yeah, and an objective morality that doesn't suit anybody's society.
Yeah.
Yep.
It goes to show how, though, that cults like, and I mean traditional cults like, oh, what was it? The weird guy with the mass killings.
Which one?
Stalin?
Jones?
Maybe, which one was it? The
Jonestown?
one,
Charlie Manson.
possibly Manson. Is it Manson, or am I confusing him with Marilyn Manson?
I don't know.
There was Charles Manson had a
Charles Manson.
swastika, I think, carved in his forehead.
Yeah. It was like, so you've got your traditional cults like Charles Manson and Jonestown. And for all my life, it's like, how could people possibly fall for this crap? But nowadays, we're seeing it in real time. People, the midwits, need a higher power. And if they are separated from the higher power of insert traditional religion here, they desperately, they are so pathetically desperate to fill that gap where the higher power would normally go, that they'll fall for anything. They'll fall for obvious cults. They'll create their own psychotic delusions. See wokeism. It's terrifyingly insane.
Thou shalt have no greater path of life but me.
A giant black dude overdosing on
Yeah.
fentanyl.
Oda says, I've seen less devout Catholics. Yes, I'm familiar with the Pope. Oh,
Yeah.
well
Yeah,
done.
any of those Crusader popes ever met Francis, it would be an absolute bloodbath. Like, he would literally demand the Swiss guards, just give me one of those halberds, you sons of bitches. I'm going after this heretic.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way. The apocryphal Pope Joan is a better Catholic than Francis.
Oh, it's not hard to be a better Catholic than Francis.
No.
Yeah, so I think we've basically covered this entire article by sheer happenstance. But let's see what it actually says. So they say, we're living through a great showdown between hysteria and reason. On one side stand the adherents to the cult of transgenderism, hawking their hocus pocus about gendered souls and self-authentication through castration. On the other side stand those of us who know that biology is real and that every cell in the human body is sexed, and that a man is likely to become a woman. And that a man is as likely to become a woman as that chalice of wine is to become the blood of Christ during Mass. Sorry, Catholics.
Okay, I disavow this article.
The Catholics do sound pretty fucking crazy when you think about the whole blood of Christ and the flesh of Christ. But don't worry, the Jehovah's Witnesses go straight in for that too.
Well, I mean, that's part of the usual
Hey,
sacrament.
at least the Catholics doesn't try to break in your door whenever they want to talk about the
Anymore.
Yes. You're right there, Trim. But there's they used to do it with swords in Jerusalem. But anyway,
Why are
Nothing wrong
the
happened during the Crusades.
The Crusades did nothing
I
wrong.
didn't say anything did.
Something wrong happened during the Crusades.
They stopped.
Yeah. And
It's
I will
weird
say this
that-
in defense of the Catholics, that at least they have never set a date for the apocalypse and been wrong 3 times.
Well, like, I find it ironic that the people most likely to come to your door and talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ are filthy Aryans.
Ooh.
Bum, bum.
Uh,
Well, are we talking Aryans as in the race or Aryans as in the offshoot of early Christianity?
Yeah, the heretics.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's funny.
Same spelling?
I think there might be some
I don't
bias
know,
here.
Mormons could be both. You know, they're usually pretty light skinned. You know.
Yeah. So, would somebody like to take a crack at reading some more of this abysmally written article while I go have a piss?
I need to grab some water, so I'll ask Bleach to have a go at this one.
You'll never guess which side some new atheists, capital A,
And
are
that
taking in this
capitalization is actually the
clash.
point I was going to make, because at least now he's capitalizing where he should.
Yes, are taking in this clash between delusion and truth. The crazy side. The side that says a bloke with a beard and balls can literally be a lesbian. Well, there is that old joke of I'm a lesbian trapped in a man's body from back in the 90s, which is infinitely more cranky than the idea that a bloke with blah blah blah. That a bloke with a beard can literally be the son of God. How did rationalist bros and those secularists on steroids like Dawkins' acolytes, whose hobby for years was to make fun of the faithful, become devotees of such a strange post-truth sect? Well, they were always basically a cult.
Yeah.
Fight me on that.
Yeah, they were always very culty, especially around the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Like, just giving them that name's culty.
Yeah. One by one, atheists are falling to the altar of trans. This week on Twitter feed called The New Atheist slammed Dawkins for becoming a TERF. Dawkins is a rarity in the new rationalist ranks. He thinks people with penises are men, not women, just as bread is bread, not the body of Christ. He is utterly
How dare-
confused. What's that?
Oh, how dare he?
He is utterly confused decree of his angry apostates. Biology isn't black and white. It's a full spectrum of color, just like the rainbow, they said.
But the rainbow isn't a full spectrum of color either. It's only parts of the visible spectrum.
Exactly.
Also, violet's not
I'm
real.
There you go, ultraviolet.
I'm continuously saddened about how abused the fucking bridge to the gods has been over these last fucking centuries.
Yeah, well, get used to it, Trim.
Sadness.
This dirty, filthy, fucking hippiest belief that humans can pick their sex from multicolored smorgasbord is entirely an article of faith, of course, not science. Behold rationalism's turncoats.
Okay, here's a distinction I'd like to make too, which is that in terms of this kind of stuff within the Christian doctrine or within the Catholic doctrine, it's like transubstantiation is an act of God, the incarnation is an act of God. Like, you know, reality follows rules, and God is the law giver and can like do miracles and shit because he's God. But what the fuck what are they saying about people who become like men who become women? Like, what divine power are they assuming about these people?
See, what they're doing is they're just redefining resubstantiation.
It seems to be very Space Orc. If we believe hard enough, it'll be true.
Orc.
Scroll down,
but
please.
like at least within like traditional theology, like the answer is God, you know. Like,
well, true. At least they've got a. Well, the rules say, but this guy's allowed to break.
Yeah, like I don't know what metaphysical system like this is operating on.
Trust me, bro. Is the metaphysical system it's
there you
operating
go.
on.
Yeah.
Feels greater than reals.
Is Arn Ra the guy who was like, I've been looking into this for 20 years?
I have no idea. I stopped watching him
Nobody has been able to give me a single shred of evidence. This guy doesn't have it. You don't either. I win, you lose. Was it that fucking cock?
I can't remember, but if it's a fat bearded man throwing a tantrum, yeah, that's Aaron Ra, because he was the first to fall to the white.
Ew.
And like,
that douchebag. Yeah, look at that.
I haven't watched him for years.
Ugh.
I mean, when you have articles like Aaron Ra versus Mr. Batman, I'm sorry, I just can't take you seriously.
No.
Oh,
so,
dear Lord.
Scroll down, please. We've witnessed Black Science Man, America's best-known bloviating piece of shit, bow to the creed of the gender as feeling. In a TikTok video, he said XX/XY chromosomes are insufficient when it comes to reading someone's sex. No, that's bullshit. That's fucking Return Pluto, god damn it, you piece of shit.
Yeah, we'll never forgive him for Pluto. Fucking bastard.
Exactly. Because what some people feel matters along with their biology. Bullshit. So someone might feel mostly female one day and at least 80% male the next.
Yeah, we've got a name for we've got a name for that. What is it? Dissociative identity disorder?
Yes.
Crazy.
Did you say
Insane.
Stacy?
I said crazy. Insane.
Crazy.
Cuckoo.
Oh.
Yes.
Loopy.
But yeah,
which means they'll remove makeup and wear a muscle shirt. Sir, that's cross-dressing. It does nothing to refute the truth of chromosomes, which absolutely do tell us what sex a person is. As a detransitioner, Chloe Cole said to Tyson, that stupid black science man, you're basically confusing human biology with cosmetics.
Yeah, you're confusing basic human biology with cosmetics.
So, yes. We've seen Matt Dillahunty, a leading American atheist, promote the mystic cry that there's a difference between what your chromosomes are and your gender identity. Trans women's are women, he piously declares, bowing down and saying 3 Hail Faucis, perhaps keen to prove that he might be fond of bashing old religions like a moron. He has not one cross or blasphemous word to say about the new religion. Well, no one wants to be excommunicated from polite society.
Yeah. Now, see, I do like the choice of words in this paragraph. This is how you do it. Piously declares. Very good choice of words there.
Yes, and properly capitalized.
Yep.
Stephen Fry is another godless lover of science who appears to have converted to the trans belief.
That's a crying shame. I used to like Stephen Fry.
Yeah, that's a sad one.
Yeah, Philip Pullman, Stuart Lee, and others who were once noisy cheerleaders for rationalism are likewise strikingly reserved with this new ideology. This devotional movement.
Philip Pullman was always kind of a degenerate.
To be fair to Stephen Fry, he's gay, so he's almost certainly going to come down in this group as well.
What does being gay have to do with thinking you're a woman? Oh wait, nothing. They just tacked on to a actually legitimate movement. Philip Pullman.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the idiot that wrote the Golden Compass. I thought that name sounded familiar. Yeah, we can put him in the garbage.
Yep.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm gonna brand myself as the anti-C.S. Lewis.
Oh
God.
In that case,
That's a
we're
bad
going to have
choice.
us a witch burning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does that make the Marvel writing team the anti-Tolkien?
Yep.
The Antichrist, you mean?
Well,
No,
the
no.
Antichrist, the anti-Tolkien team are the abominations who
The
made
all-women
Rings of
team
Power.
that are writing reigns of
Oh
power.
my God.
They're all the whores of Babylon.
Let's see. This devotional movement, which among other things invites young women to submit themselves to bodily mortification in order that they might transubstantiate into men. Seems like something a rationalist would question. Oh, dear God.
Yeah, the biology denial side of it, yeah.
Yeah. Then there's Humanists UK. Even Britain's most influential God-free organization has thrown its lot with the flat earthism of post-sex ideology. It entreated the British government to not change the definition of sex in the Equality Act to mean biological sex. Why? Because some people have a mysterious intergendered soul, which apparently counts for more than biological sex when it comes to the question of social spaces they should be allowed to enter. Forget biology, forget science. Make feeling king.
Yeah.
Some women resigned from Humanist UK over what they viewed as an abandonment of compassionate science and rational principles in favor of the unreality of gender subjectivity. Witness the treachery of yesterday's warriors for rationalism are now the foot soldiers of postmodern delirium.
Yeah, hold on, one sec, Bleach.
Yes.
This is where we are desperately in need of a capital A.
Yes.
Like, based on the rest of the article, the way he's written this, yeah, it's a good statement, but it needs to be capital A. You can't just throw anyone who doesn't believe in God under the fucking bus, along with these political woke-worshipping lunatics. Anyway, sorry.
It really is a fair point, because when you have politically motivated people who reject God versus people who don't believe in God, those are two vastly separate things. Anyway, the religion bashers who came to prominence in the 2000s now pray to the gods of gender correctness, whether fear of cancellation or because they really have the Damascene conversation. The idea of
because they really have had a Damascene conversion.
Oh, sorry.
Damascene conversion. Do you know off the top of your head what that is, second?
Yeah, Paul's conversion on the road to Damascus.
Oh, of course. When God sends an angel down to threaten him.
Yep.
I mean, I could draw some parallels.
Blind him, so it's kind of more convincing argument.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you could rewrite that parable as sending down the woke mafia to threaten him and blind him to reality.
There you go.
Well, hey, no. Paul fought against degeneracy. Like, he repeatedly wrote to, like, the problem child, the Corinthians, saying,
yes,
stop fucking
but after this. Well, the difference...
to be fair, he was killing the Corinthians before that, too.
Yeah.
The Corinthians deserve
the difference between the conversion of the new atheists and Paul is Paul's conversion actually helped him and made him a better person.
Yes, not just made him a whiny little girl. Yeah. So, let's see. Damascene conversion, the idea that feelings override reality, that scientific truth must sometimes play second fiddle to our flattering of the self-esteem of men who say they're women, women who say they're men, and presumably mere mortals who claim to be God. After all, if Dave with his dick and a 5 o'clock shadow can literally become a woman, why shouldn't Gary be the second coming? Subjectivity rules? No.
I'm just saying, reject modernity, return to male and female. He created them.
Yeah.
Reject modernity, start crucifying assholes again.
Yes.
Nice. Vlad did nothing wrong.
We're going to have to definitely go with maybe the Vlad the Impaler solution. Get the bonus holes opened up, lads.
There you go. Dilation time,
shit.
motherfucker.
Did you guys see Freedom Tune's latest video?
Yeah,
no.
with the trans man and trans woman, right?
Yeah, they're like reacting to like a trad wife, like, oh yeah, there's no way she can possibly be happy. Yeah, she's totally faking it. And they're like, oh, I gotta take my antibiotics and dilate. I need my painkillers.
The rationalist bluster of the new atheists was all sound and fury, it seems, the minute a real struggle over reason exploded into public life. They vacated the battlefield or joined the other side, crying trans women are women, and they went to signal their fidelity to the new faith. It's easy to bash the old religions, especially Christianity. Newspaper columns invites the literary festivals and conference halls full of fawning, godless, middle class, those who said Jesus walking on water as if consequences of devastating from deviating from the trans ideology is far more severe. Columns are taken away, invites evaporated, middle class will gather to scorn, not cheer. It's a hard to avoid conclusion that public atheists value their reputations more than rationalism.
Yep.
What makes their desertion of reason more galling is that they've done it in a response to the neo-religion that really is harming the young. Fundamentalist Christians might try to convert gay kids out of their homosexuality based, but this new religion mutilates them out of it. By transing young lesbians into boys, gay lads into girls, faith schools might promote zany miracle stories and their pupils. This new cult imbues kids with far more disorienting beliefs. About 72 genders, gridlock,
Girl dick.
girl dick. Gridlock is less offensive.
Yeah.
Girl dick and lesbians with penises. The old religions frowned upon blasphemy, as does this new one, with the treatment of a denier as the theological criteria of the social leper, especially if the denier is a woman. Yes, this religion also hates uppity women. And yet at this moment, with all this unfolding, that some rationalists take a break from rationalism. It's moral cowardice in the garb of social justice. Well, yes.
Always has been.
Yeah, social justice is the last refuge of cowards.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, social justice is like all those words. There's a large category of words where if you add anything in front of it, it changes the meaning. And justice is a good one of them. If you have to put social justice in front of it, it's because it's not really justice. If you have to say that it's politically correct, that's because it's not actually correct.
It is political correct.
Yes, it's politically correct, also known as not true.
Yeah. Others go further.
Also known as saying something so that nobody thinks badly of you.
Yeah. If it was actually correct, you could just say it was correct. But because it's not correct, it's politically correct. Yeah, not actually correct.
Others go further than to criticize the complicity of some new atheists with modern unreason. They say these godless agitators are to blame for the new man. In chasing God from society and further weakening the church, they created a void that the new dangerous ideology has to fill, says Tim Stanley at the Daily Telegraph. Kill God, get trans. Which means even Dawkins, turfish as he is partly culpable for the lunacy he now laments.
I'd like to take this moment to recommend our podcast on The Abolition of Man by C.S. Lewis that I've done with Carl.
Shut up, jug ears.
No, but that is base premium content, and I get to say that because I was the one who was shilling it for years to Carl.
Yeah.
I mean, you finally got what you wanted.
Oh yeah, so based. But C.S. Lewis was completely right about how like a fucking English textbook in the 1940s, like debasing the idea of value judgments was going to lead to a bunch of like degeneracy and transhumanism in the future.
Yeah. Well ahead of his time was old C.S. Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. If you want to continue, you can scroll down, although right now it just seems like they're getting rather repetitive.
It does a bit. Let's have a look. The reason it sounds like it's getting repetitive is he's finally getting to all the bits we discussed just after we read the headline.
Yeah.
No, I disagree. It seems like here he's getting into how the rejection of Christ has led to this world,
Which is what we said. And it's not so much about the rejection of Christ, it's about replacing one religion with another. Because midwits is stupid.
Basically, what this author is going through is just how it happened. Here's some moments that we can point out to where this ideology started.
Yeah, and then it's just waffling
And-
about Dawkins and, oh, he believes in evolution and DNA. It's like, whatever. And yeah, that's basically it. But yes, that is...
Well, nature abhors a void, and
Yeah.
Dawkins created the void.
Yeah, by removing the religion from the midwits, it created a void, and they filled that with wokery.
See, I'm actually going to go a step further. When you allowed a priesthood of pseudo-intellectuals and pseudo-scientists to step in as the new priesthood, to step in as the Pope, Black Science Man.
Mm-hmm.
When you took away from everyone, not just the midwits, but you took away from everyone, people who used shame of bad behavior and weird ideals, you opened up to the most perverse base desires of the average human. Which, let's be honest, you don't want the average human running around without a modicum of shame about their behavior. And I will point to Dawkins and say, yes, he's to blame. Because, not that he was wrong about his ideals, but in that he didn't realize that there were unintended consequences.
Road to hell and all that.
Yes, because whenever, you go on, and because he had a moralless framework. Not an immoral, but a moralless framework where there's no shame for stepping out of line with what society needs, because an individual can operate without society, but a society cannot operate with individuals who are void of any shame.
Well, I also think we're talking about the midwits here and then the average populace, but I'd take it a step further and talk about the elites as well, because yes, there's been, and I'm not going to deny that there is corruption in the priesthood, but, something you do have to say is that a traditional priesthood has men who are theoretically humble before God. Who is fucking Klaus Schwab humble before Mr. We will master the future? Or,
you say that,
server.
you say that, but the fucking Pope is subservient to Schwab, so where does that get us?
I hate Schwab.
And then, no, and this was fucking crazy. On another Discord server I'm in, somebody posted from an interview with George Soros where, quote, I fancied myself as some kind of god. If truth be known, I carried some rather potent messianic fantasies with me from childhood, which I felt I had to control, otherwise they might get me into trouble.
That might have been instilled by his father and the work they did together.
Yeah, it is a sort of disease when you consider yourself some kind of god, the creator of everything. But I feel comfortable about it now since I began to live it out.
Oof.
I hate that guy.
To address some comments. Firstly, Major says, Soros divined the entire article from the tagline. Took 2 minutes. Well done. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Major also says, and again, we could probably just get an AI to read out Major's comments, and then I wouldn't have to show up. God is dead, God remains dead, and we have killed him. How shall we comfort ourselves, the murderers of all murderers? They shall create their own gods in their own image. That's how.
Yep. Yeah, and that's definitely a very clear reflection of the society they want. Not a society in which we all can operate as autonomous humans, but where we are essentially extensions of the state in our daily lives.
Yeah, and it's like any good cult leader, they are very good at detecting the empty voids in people. Like the primary victims of cults are always people who have been abused, people who have had bad religious experiences, etc., etc., etc. On you go. And all these people have voids inside them that need to be filled by something. Now, ideally, that would be filled with loving and caring friends and family, but we could fill it with this new fantastic cult leader and his lovely, lovely religion. It just so happens that in this case, the cult leader is Klaus Schwab and his tools, and the religion is wokeism, because,
Did you just call Trudeau a tool? Based.
Yes.
Yes. Just get my useless tool in the shed. I don't know necessarily if there was a grand conspiracy to destroy the faith in God, but it does seem that the global homo elites of assorted types have noticed that there is a large group of people seeking meaning, and they've gone, I've got access to 1 billion newspapers. I wonder if I could invent a new cause for them to get behind.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as a whole, humans are easily led.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
dumber than fucking
the thing
sheep,
that
I swear to
really
God.
gives them, from what I can tell, the thing that really entices them to join this cult is the sense of moral superiority.
Yes.
You are right if you follow this.
Oh, and that,
Yeah.
and
you're
that,
a good person if you follow
that's a
this.
key
Yeah.
part of any good cult.
Yeah, but Bleach made a comment earlier, reminded me of something I've heard before, and I'm not sure who said it, but it basically goes, persons can be smart, but people is always dumb.
Men in Black.
Yeah, Men in Black.
Ah, okay.
No, that's much older than that, though.
Sure,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Men in Black did it better. A person
Yeah,
is
no,
smart, but people are dumb, panicky animals.
No, there's a really based quote from Aldous Huxley that Sitch and Adam quote all the time, which is, the surest way to work up a crusade in favor of some good cause is to promise people that they will have a chance of maltreating someone, to be able to destroy with good conscience, to be able to behave badly, and call your bad behavior righteous indignation. This is the height of all psychological luxury, the most delicious of moral treats.
Something, something, Robert Barron, something, something, cupidity.
Oh, wait, Robert Barron? Where? What? What? Where?
Well, what's the last part of that about doing it with the blessing of their own conscience?
Hang on. I'm posting the. It's not that. Let me get the rest of it. To behave, will behave.
Yeah. Rumble doesn't like long.
Yeah. Well, neither
comments.
does YouTube. So, there we go.
Yep.
Actually, was
Wait, where
Robert
is-
Barron C.S. Lewis?
Wait, where is
Yes.
Robert Barron in this article?
Nowhere.
Oh, damn. No, Robert. Oh, Robert Barron. Okay, yeah, that was C.S. Lewis.
Yeah.
That was C.S. Lewis. I thought you were saying Robert
Ah.
Barron is in the big Catholic bishop.
Oh,
But you got me hyped. But yeah, there's the C.S. Lewis one as well. How it would be better to live under a robber baron than an omnipotent moral busybody, because the greed and malice of the robber baron will sleep, but the moral tyrant will, I don't know, oppress you in perpetuity because they do so with the approval of their own conscience.
yeah. Those who torment us for our own good will torment us without end, for they do so with the approval of their own conscience.
Yep.
Nice work, though. You nearly got the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next line is the one I like. They may be more likely to go to heaven, yet at the same time likelier to make a hell of earth.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually from an essay of C.S. Lewis I would recommend, where he rails against the humanitarian theory of punishment.
God on the Dock, if I remember right.
I got in the doc. Essays on theology, yeah.
Sorry, it's been a long time since I've read it. I didn't even see the quote being posted. So
In the dock, so that would be the witness dock, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds very interesting. It's just a shame that it hasn't been 75 years since he died.
Yeah. Same with
Still
Heinlein.
book club.
Yeah, we could do a book club on
That's
it.
true.
Hold on, I'll add it to the list.
Yeah.
I
The
think
list always grows. It never shrinks.
I think I'm just going to need to put a heading for C.S. Lewis.
Yeah.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Audacity of this bitch.
Oh, that's a
It's
classic.
ma'am.
Ma'am.
Oh,
As he
the
knocks
ma'am of
things
the
over.
north.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And I'm gonna link the fucking essay in Inner Sanctum and General and on the chat.
Yeah.
Unless it hates links, I don't know. It might hate
Rumble
links.
doesn't seem to
No,
hate
it
links.
doesn't.
oh, it seems to work on links.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this segment from the Sons of Chardonnay podcast, please consider joining us live exclusively on rumble.com/c/Sons of Chardonnay. A special thanks to our Subscribe Star supporters who you can currently see scrolling past on your screen.